Hi, this is Brother Teacher once again, and I would like to talk seriously to you for a moment about your health. In this particular video and or segment, it's about your blood pressure. If you were not aware, uh, I was at the hospital several days back, and while I was being examined, uh, they took my vital signs, and my blood pressure was 215 over 170. Now, I've had incidents over the years with high blood pressure. It runs in my family. I guess you can say it's genetic and what have you. But one thing I have um, that really is my mainstay in my life is the determination to make sure that I do the things to keep myself as healthy as I possibly can. So that alarmed me, having my blood pressure so high, but I come to realize that I also damaged my neck. I had a neck and arm injury from pulling an extreme amount of weight, and uh, I got uh, the item caught on a step, and I strained, and I was not aware of that. Uh, and then I began to have pain in my arm as a result, and I did not uh, remember that I had that incident earlier when I was pulling something, and it was not until I thought about the emergency room visit and went back in my mind to sitting down and experiencing the pain, and I asked myself, what did you do prior to this pain? I said, you tried to pull this huge sign into the store, and you caught it on the steps, and it jolted you. So I'm getting older, of course, and so we don't heal as fast as we used to when we were much younger. So what I'm getting at is this: as far as the blood pressure is concerned, the doctor wanted to prescribe. I can't pronounce the name of the medication, but its other name is Lipitor, and I'm sure that you've seen this advertised on television. It's on commercials all of the time, and medication, pharmaceutical drugs, all have side effects when we take them. Just understand that. And many of the side effects, uh, really the vast majority of them, are detrimental to our bodies. So this is my contention. You shouldn't take something that's supposed to cure you of one thing, but it causes another negative effect on your person, your body, your physiology. Okay? This Lipitor, one of the side effects is liver damage. Now, go figure. Do you think I'm going to take something that's going to cause my liver to become damaged? Right. So what I decided to do was to make sure that I go back to the drawing board and reevaluate the things that I do as it relates to my diet. For the most part, I eat very, very healthy. I eat very little meat, and I eat once a day. I believe on that particular day that I had the high blood pressure issue, that it was probably directly related to me trying to pull that sign into my store. So with that said, I want to talk to you about how to reduce your high blood pressure if you have high blood pressure and if you have had high blood pressure. And I'm going to be perfectly frank. I'm shooting from the hip, and I want you to comprehend every word that comes out of my mouth about this subject. And I know that you're intelligent. I do. I trust all of you. I believe that you're all very smart individuals and that you have common sense. I'm just going to put it on the table. So I want you to listen to me for a moment, and you can go from there. I've said this in time past. I'm not a medical doctor, and I'm happy that I'm not. Would never want to be, because they prescribe medications, and those medications harm the human body. Only in an emergency, an extreme life or death situation should we be taking pharmaceutical drugs. Stop. That's it. They prescribe surgery. Just those two things. So, only in an extreme emergency should you have surgery. Now, you let that marinate in your brain for a moment. So now, with that said, on hypertension or blood pressure, what blood pressure is, ladies and gentlemen, it is the force and the pressure of blood moving through your arteries, being pumped from the heart, going back to the heart. It's the pressure against the walls of the blood vessels. Okay? Now, our blood is never supposed to be slowed down. It's never supposed to be hindered. It's supposed to do what it's supposed to do because it is delivering oxygen and nutrients to our tissues and cells. That's the purpose of the heart, to pump oxygen and blood enriched with nutrients to our body's cells so that we can live. So it is a priority for your heart to deliver those necessary nutrients and oxygen to your tissues and cells. It's a priority. Anytime you have the most minuscule blockage in your arteries, your blood pressure is going to go up. You know why? Your heart's saying, I have to get oxygen to those tissues. That's why your blood pressure is high, because the space that it normally would push the blood through has become more narrow. Okay? It makes sense, I'm sure. So now, how can we normalize our blood pressure, and how can we lower our blood pressure? This is what I believe. Listen to me closely. This is what I believe. And I'm sure you will be convinced after I tell you this very basic and fundamental thing. Listen. Every creature on the earth was designed to eat a specific diet. If the diet that we have is not specific to our body's makeup, then it is going to suffer injury. It is going to become inflamed. Inflammation, in other words, internally. And it's going to affect the whole chemistry of our bodies when we put something in our bodies that does not belong there. This is the brutal, cold, hard truth, ladies and gentlemen. For example, sugar, white sugar, white flour, they're toxic to our body. Regardless of how long we have been consuming it throughout our lives, it's toxic. It causes inflammation. And where there's inflammation, guess what? Your blood pressure goes up. Anything that causes pain in your body makes what? Your blood pressure go up. If you have a chronic condition or any inflammation and you have pain, your blood pressure will go up. If you have blockage in your arteries from cholesterol buildup or calcium buildup because of scar tissue or what have you in your arteries, guess what? Your blood pressure is going to go up. If you're taking pharmaceutical drugs and your body doesn't recognize it, because it will not, because it's not natural to your body, your blood pressure will go up. If you are under stress, mentally or physically, your blood pressure will go up. So now what you need to do is evaluate your own life and ask yourself, do you fall in any of those categories that I just mentioned? And you have hypertension now. So how do you normalize and lower your blood pressure? First of all, get rid of the stress that's in your life. Stress emotionally is someone causing you to be stressed? Or are you causing yourself to be stressed because you have anxiety, because your kids don't behave, they don't follow instructions, you're allowing them to get on your nerves, as some people like to say? Are you stressed out because of your job or lack of employment? Are you stressed out because of a relationship, or your husband or wife or your girlfriend or boyfriend is leaving you, or they're cheating on you? Those stresses can drive your blood pressure up. Okay? Now, are you smoking? This is a big one. Are you a smoker? Ask yourself this question. Do you believe that you're healthy if you're a smoker? I know you know the answer. And the answer is you're not healthy. And your blood pressure is up. Now, what else? Do you exercise? Or are you living a sedentary life? You're sitting around all of the time, eating all of the time, not getting up, burning calories, not eating wholesome food, not eating natural, organic foods, a bunch of junk food, processed foods, and restaurant foods, all kinds of chemicals in your food and toxins in your food. You're going to have high blood pressure as a result. What am I saying? I'm saying we need to get back to nature, the way things were in the beginning and how they were intended to be, and stop killing ourselves and blaming something else outside of us. It's us. We are the reason for ourselves being sick. We are the reasons that, for the most part, that we have hypertension, high blood pressure. So stop blaming your family. Stop blaming your dad and your mom and your grandparents who had high blood pressure before you, as if they passed it on to you. No, they did not. What they passed on to you was the habits that they had that were bad habits, and you picked up the same bad habits, so now you have the same condition. Or you follow what I'm saying? So if you say it's genetic, if you was a baby and you was born and the doctor said you were healthy, why is it 20, 30 years later you develop hypertension, but you were healthy as a baby? It doesn't even make sense, does it? But you said it's genetic and that you got it from your foreparents, right? Doesn't make sense at all. And if you think about it, you know it does not make sense. So now, if you come to the conclusion, the most common denominator is that you're causing your own illness by your bad habits. Get rid of the cigarettes, your blood pressure is going to normalize and go down. Get rid of the stress, it's going to normalize and it's going to go down. Get plenty of exercise, cardiovascular, and your blood pressure is going to go down. And make sure you get plenty of rest, proper rest. Blood pressure is going to go down. Eat a diet that's wholesome, without all of the processed foods and the junk foods, so that you don't have to worry about the placation of your arteries, the narrowing of the walls of your arteries, and your blood pressure will go down. Try to fast at least once a week. Even do an intermittent fast. You will be surprised and your blood pressure will go down, and leave the alcohol and the tobacco alone. This is the honest truth. So, what are you going to do about it? Do you want to live, or do you want to die? Stop playing Russian roulette, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, with your lives. I know we've been hardwired with all of these habits that we developed as a child up until the present moment that I'm speaking to you. We've been doing this so long, we enjoy the gratification, the instant gratification of smoking a cigarette, don't you? You say, I'm going to quit. New Year's is tomorrow. Do it today. Some of us say, well, I'm going to lose weight, shed some of these pounds. I'm going to stop eating cakes and pies and cookies and stuff, or I'm going to limit or minimize the amount that I eat. Do it today. I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to get in shape, build my endurance up. No one said that you have to be an Amazonian, ladies. And no one said, men, that you have to be a bodybuilder. But trim down and start to build some firm muscle on your body, and your metabolism will speed up. You'll burn more calories. Start thinking positive. Stay away from the stresses that you're allowing in your own life. I know it's difficult. Sometimes we're in bad relationships and it stresses us. But you know what? If you are aware and you accept what your situation is, then you can better navigate through it. But if you know that that's what's causing your problem and you allow it to continue to beat you down, it will. And I know it's difficult. I know it's hard. But I've been there. I have. Trust and believe, I have been there. I've been in a relationship before where I was emotionally distraught. But I held on. And from me to you right now, I'm holding on. I love you. The Almighty loves you. Take good care of yourself. If you want to rid yourself of hypertension, high blood pressure, follow those simple principles that I just laid out for you. And you will thank not only me, but you'll thank yourself that you care enough about you. This is Brother Teacher. May the Almighty continue to bless you and yours. And I wish you a safe and prosperous new year in 2020. I'm out.